the tour is the tour. The stress here was different from other races, and yeah, it's a one-of-a-kind race.
It's the one race that transcends cycling itself. It's the one race that the general public is aware of, not just cycling fans.
It's like it's a tour and I'm willing to die for it. It's a tour and I know I have to do altitude. It's a tour and I know I need to recover and relax and jump into the ice water.
It's my sixth tour now, and every time we start the tour is always full on.
When I first came to the first Tour de France, I did get overwhelmed, and that affected my physical performance. I think I was at the back, I was in bad position, I was sprinting, using heaps of energy, get dropped, and I just was like never staying calm.
Well, I mean, things are certainly changing. Like while being a younger professional, you will be more nervous and you have different kinds of pressure, while now, for example, having a bad day doesn't make you too worried at all because, it's kind of part of the game. Like, for example, yesterday when cramps hit you or whatsoever, you just need to deal with it, and it's a 3-week race, so you will have a roller coaster.
I mean, yeah, we have guys in the team that we talk to, but for me, I didn't get much chance to stress about the race or anything like that, so I've had it quite easy. But yeah, the opening 2 stages, I can say my head was fried after these 2 days.
I think a lot of it comes down to the preparation periods that come before the Tour de France. So obviously, I think as all teams do, we all have an altitude training camp, which we've done in Sierra Nevada and also in Les Arcs, which kind of allows us to bring all our guys together. And what we created was a bit of a Tour de France group. And what you begin to do in those training camps is to expose riders to different things that they will be exposed to during the Tour de France. So for example, in our training camps, we do map out the days quite specifically, that when they wake up, having their breakfast, have their lunch, go training, come back, we'll do our feedback sessions. And it does sound very controlled, but you try to create it in a very flexible environment. And that's very, very important because we've seen riders when things become too controlled or too precise, that can also create some sort of different cracks. The goal really of the coaches or the DSs or anybody in the Tour de France is try to reduce decision fatigue for the riders. That every day that they have the least amount of decisions to make. Where's my helmet? Where's my shoes? What do I wear today? So we give them always good feedback about the weather, the expectations of the day, and everything is kind of planned from what material they use, what bikes, what wheels. So that's a really an important aspect, that the guys just have to ride their bikes and not have to worry about any other aspect of the day.
So in the race, I actually look forward to when it gets hard because it's less about thinking about positioning or the little, that's what was had for the last week. But yesterday was just single file and it was on legs. And that's when you stop thinking and you just start reacting and just racing. And I actually look forward to the moment when it gets really hard. And even that means you might get dropped or whatever, but at least it's clear. It's really just on your legs. It's not necessarily on positioning or the other stress. So in the race, what I like to do in those moments where when it's stressful technically but not physically, just really try and stay in the present because your mind can really drift away. I often try and associate who's around me. Like if I just play a little game, like I'm starting to think about something else or think about a sunny holiday somewhere, and I'll start to realise who's riding there, who's there, and who's there. Name them. Might be Plappy, might be Ben O'Connor, and it might be another guy, Geraint Thomas or something like that. So then I'm like, okay, this is who I'm riding around. And then when it gets really hard, I actually use a tactic that Matt Heyman gave me. It's just I count down from 10 to 1. And you can always do 10 more seconds. So when you're just about to get dropped, you just go, stay focused, 10 down to 1, and then you start again. 10 down to 1 and start again. 10 down to 1 and start again. And then everything seems to calm down. And then you actually go a lot further. But I would say I think one year I might have counted 10 down to 1 the entire Tourmalet. It's like an hour.
Yeah. Every race or every day brings its own challenge, certainly, yeah. So while the first week is super tense in terms of being active, focus, don't do any mistakes, don't avoid stupid crashes and so on and so forth, while maybe second or third week will give you different challenges. Being in the long mountains, maybe you cannot find your rhythm, you cannot find your group,
The thing is, for me personally, if you think too much, it's never good. You have to take it really step by step. It's a long event in general. It's 3 weeks long, and if you think too much, what could happen and what happened in the past, that only costs you energy, and it won't change anything other than you lose this energy. So I really take it step by step, accept things how they are, and then just try to build your way around it a little bit.
I focus on my breathing. Like, it sounds a bit weird, but like really think of like the air coming in and the air coming out. And yeah, just that really helps me to like recenter and focus, and then to give me a little bit of an edge. I kind of swear at myself, you know, like when I really want the goosebumps.
I think a lot of it is really down to, I think when they discuss, they do a bit of a post-race debrief, and the debrief they will do will often happen before the DS debrief. I mean, that's really good, and also the guys will eat breakfast and dinner at their own table, away from the staff, which when I first came to the team, I found it a little bit strange that they were so removed from the staff, but it just allows them to have their own rider bubble, that they can discuss things that are not related to the race. And again, that's been really important as well, that it's not always just cycling, and they have moments just to, again, to de-stress and enjoy those moments. Also on the bus, they put their earphones in, some guys speak to each other. And one as well, which really is I find quite nice, is roommates watching Netflix movies together or watching Netflix series together. I think in the past, what I've seen is we all have our headphones in, AirPods in, we watch our phone or watch our iPad. But I think now in this team, we put together roommates, and they'll go and discuss, okay, what are we going to watch or what are we going to do during the Tour de France. So like, for example, Ollie and Flix are in the room together and they're watching Mobland or Peaky Blinders or something together, and it just really it just gives a nice sense of kind of camaraderie, and they can do something together that's not just riding their bikes.
No, you still need to stay focused. I tend to not look too far ahead. So when I finish the stage is done. Massage, bit of music, lots of music on the bus, big music man. Just relax as much as possible, try and disconnect, call my family, have dinner, worry about that, recovery, etc. And then when I wake up in the morning, that's when I open my laptop, go on VeloViewer, check the stage, get ready for this, get ready for that, what am I up for, and then start to build that into the race. And then we have the team meeting, and this is all starting to feel like we're starting soon, and really sort of ride that wave into the stage.
Just talk about different stuff than cycling. I think we have a very cool group here. So for example, yesterday after dinner, we went out in the garden, sit together and chat about a bit of nonsense. It's also something to get your head a little bit away from cycling.
I read a book. I bought 3 books, and they are about something else than cycling, obviously, because cycling you have enough in those 3 weeks. And then it helps me fall asleep. That's quite nice. And then also I have quite some structured times or fixed points when I switch out my phone, when I don't watch the television anymore. Just because for me it's hard in 3 weeks towards the end. It gets more and more hard to sleep, and sleep is key. Recovery is key, and how you deal with the recovery for me is a book.
We can debrief from what we see from the car, from the TV, but Oliver is very, very good to be able to debrief on how a day went. And if a rider has a bad day, Ollie can go and say, yeah, well, it's normal. In Grand Tours, you have bad days, you've got good days, how to deal with it. So he brings us a level of, I suppose, calmness in the rider group, because that's also very important, that it's not always the coaches, the DSs or the assistants who are speaking to the riders. The riders also speak among themselves at the dinner table, and having someone there who's experienced it, who knows how to deal with the stress of it, really it's worth its weight in gold. So he's a really important aspect of. We've got 2 guys here who've never done a Tour de France before, Bastian Trochon and Callum Scottson. So this is all new, because it's nothing like any other race you'll ever do. It's complete. It's kind of complete crazy. And having Ollie there just takes Ollie's stride like another race.
So I'm always with an open ear and happy to help and give forward my experience, because I think this is certainly something that has maybe changed over the years. While back in the days when I turned pro, you had a rough time coming into the peloton, and now it's definitely the opposite. So it's all about kids these days.